We're going to talk about over-the-counter trading as a retail trader. I've been up since 4 in the morning because the brain hasn't stopped, unfortunately. So I thought I'd cut this very quick video. Right now, I'm on this platform over here, bitcointradevolume.com. Now, this is actually a pretty interesting website because the argument is made, it's not even an argument, it's absolute fact in my opinion, that you cannot rely on the volume that you are tracking against price on exchanges because it is not representational of the true volume that is traded with Bitcoin. You know, having a YouTube channel in this space is kind of cool. It's kind of useful because every now and then people write to me, people that I network with communicate to me, etc. And they will know someone or have a friend or maybe connected to a family office or whatever it is. They will know somebody who wants to invest in Bitcoin and they will say, hey, in fact, I had an email recently. I won't tell you the exact amount, but it was in the millions of dollars. My friend has millions of dollars. Where should they buy Bitcoin? Now, the last place you're going to buy Bitcoin, if you have $4 million, $5 million, $6 million, whatever, the last place you're going to go and buy Bitcoin is going to be on an exchange, because what's going to happen is you're going to inflate price as you do that. You can actually trade, 5 million Bitcoin without changing the price. You do it in a dark pool, you do it over the counter, meaning direct with another seller off exchange. Now, over the counter volume is surely larger than the actual exchange volume that's traded every day. So it's almost like you need to take whatever number you see here and more than double that. And that would probably be representational of the total Bitcoin volume. However, how do we know the total volume that is actually traded over the counter? One could argue that you can look at chain data and you can work it out from there, maybe. But what about the Bitcoins that those over the counter services, those businesses out there, which, by the way, this is a booming business and exchanges are getting more and more into offering over-the-counter services, are actually holding that Bitcoin without somehow passing it through the data that you would need in order to figure out the volume. So the argument I'm making here is that people with big money and smart people are buying up Bitcoin, and they're buying it up right now. Like, the feeling I've got being in the market is people are buying Bitcoin for many reasons. Like, number one, let's talk about Bitcoin for a second, actually. Let's do this, because the important thing to know is that Bitcoin passed the value of one Bitcoin to $1. That happened. And everybody thought, well, Bitcoin isn't going to be around. It's full of hot air. It's nonsense. But people who actually understand our current monetary system said, well, what's the difference? In fact, it's actually more reliable as a store of value than gold. It's gold 2.0. So we're not going to go into that because there's plenty of videos on YouTube you can watch about that, which are super informative and interesting. So Bitcoin is a real store of value. Now, if you want to own Bitcoin and you want to buy into it because you can see how the supply and demand actually works for Bitcoin, bear in mind that Bitcoin has military grade security. It's all based on proof of work, right? So this is a very, very secure coin to buy into. So if you have a lot of money and you're an institution and you want to balance your portfolio, because you actually de-risk your portfolio by balancing it, if you want to do that, then what you're going to do is you're going to flood that money into Bitcoin. And so when you go and flood that money into Bitcoin, you do it through over the counter. You do it using someone like Genesis or something like that. You will actually go to a service and you will find a seller, or vice versa, and you will do that. Now, what can happen if you do that? What if a whale goes and buys like a ton of Bitcoin outside off exchange and then decides to sell it to manipulate price? Because what happens when they go onto the exchange and they go to, flood the order book with sell orders is they're going to plummet the price of Bitcoin, therefore reducing the perceived value of Bitcoin. This shows you that the price can be manipulated quite easily when you are looking at exchanges and exchange prices. However, if the exchange price changes dramatically, so does the price that people are going to be willing to pay over the counter, because if they can get it a lot cheaper through an exchange, then they would. Even if it meant taking that risk of inflating price, it would still be cheaper, they would. So price is still representational, in my opinion. Now, why am I telling you all of this? Because you're not a whale trader. You're not full of millions of dollars. If you were, you'd probably be telling me where to put my money. So I was looking into what can we do. So let's look at another chart. Right now, we're looking at Ethereum to the dollar. It's at about 171. If I go to CoinMarketCap right now and look at all of the Ethereum prices, they are about 171, 172 etc. So right now, there's not much happening with price fluctuations, so it's quite difficult to arbitrage something like this unless you deal peer-to-peer, which is what we were just saying. So if you go over to this website over here, for example, I'm on localethereum.com. There's also localbitcoins.com. So these are peer-to-peer. Now you need to be careful here because you're dealing human to human, and you need to make sure you're dealing with trustworthy humans, just like you would over the counter. If someone was facilitating a deal for you, they would be careful who's buying, who's selling. There would be an escrow service, etc. This is essentially what's happening over here. So I want to look at where can I sell Ethereum for more than I can buy it for. Oh, wow, I can sell Ethereum here for $212. And over here, I'm looking to buy it anywhere on any exchange for around $171, $172. So that becomes automatically rather interesting, and I can do these trades with PayPal or some other payment methods, etc. But you can actually come and hunt here for deals. No price speculation required. Now, I do plan on doing a lot more videos on over-the-counter trading as a theme. If you're enjoying this video, definitely let me know if you'd like more of this kind of stuff. I know when I did the sports arbitrage video, people really liked this. This is very similar to me in the nature and the feel of it, but there's a lot of other content that I've been looking at doing, and a lot of other tracking that I'm doing over here as well, and investigation to find, you know, really where is the low-hanging fruit and how much can you make per day with the amount of low-hanging fruit that's actually out there right now. Now, one of the things that I really need to say here is that there are obvious opportunities even in a quiet market, and it is a quiet market right now. There are some glaringly obvious opportunities where you can buy and sell, and there's always going to be some kind of risk involved, but you don't have to speculate on price. And I've been doing all sorts of analysis. The only videos that make it to this channel are where I find something of actual value. If you'd like me to do some videos showing you some of the stuff I'm investigating, which isn't showing promise but may, I will. I can do a video on that. I've got a list of 7 or 8 things over here that I'm checking out. But one of the things I want to mention is when you're looking at this, when you're looking at placing trades where there is risk involved, where crypto is more complex to understand than the average person can grasp because they haven't had the training and education like you have, you know, there is opportunity. The difficulty, the barrier to entry in crypto is your gold right now. It absolutely is. Right now, it is your gold. So the fact that this is complex, the fact that it's difficult, the fact that there's a learning curve involved is the gold, is the reason why as a retail trader, we can take advantages just like this. Now, let me know what you thought about this kind of content, because it's a bit different and a bit off track to what I'm normally putting out there in terms of some of the leading metrics, etc., some of the other arbitrage stuff. But I found this really, really interesting. I've been up since 4 in the morning because my brain can't stop going through and seeing all the opportunities that are out there right now to bring to light for you guys. Now, have a great weekend. I hope you have an awesome Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Till the next video, take care and talk soon.